We just studied the sutram 2237 Vahitanyadishu. Let us now take a vartikam which occurs under that sutram 2237 in the Siddhanta Kaumadi. The vartikam reads Praharanarthebhyaha pare nishtha saptam yau. Quite straightforward. The meaning is, in Bahuvrihi compounds, a term which ends in a nishtha affix prescribed by the sutram 32102 nishtha, or a seventh case affix, takes the latter position when it follows a term which denotes a weapon. The note here clarifies that in the absence of this vartikam, a term which ends in a nishtha affix would have taken the prior position as per the sutram 2236 nishtha, which we have studied, and a term which ends in a seventh case affix would have taken the prior position as per the sutram 2235 saptami visheshane bahuvrihau, which also we have studied. Let us take an example to see how this vartikam works. Example here is Udyato sir yasya saha. Udyataha asihi yasya saha equals asyudyataha, qualifying naraha, meaning he, the man whose sword is raised. The alaukika vigraha is udyata su plus asi su. Prathama ekvachanam, compounding authorized by the sutram 2224 anekamanya padarthe. We have two terms here, udyata su and asi su, entering into a compound, and the compound as a whole is qualifying naraha, who is not denoted in the compound. Hence the compound is anya pada pradhanaha, and therefore the conditions for applying 2224 are satisfied. Now udyata su plus asi su gets the designation pradivadikam by 1246 krittadita samasascha, because you have formed a compound. This allows us to apply 2471 supodhatu pradivadikayoho, perform the look elision on the suffixes su and su, which are inside the compound pradivadikam. So we now get udyata plus asi. Now as per the vartikam prahanarthebhyaha pare nishtha saptam yau, the term udyata which ends in a nishtha affix, which of course we know as per 1126 Ktaktavatu nishtha. The two affixes kta and ktavatu get the designation nishtha. In this case udyata ends in the affix kta, and hence udyata is placed in the latter position in the compound because it follows the term asi, meaning sword, which denotes a weapon. Remember that as per the sutram 2236 nishtha, udyata would have been placed in the prior position in the compound, but this vartikam now places udyata in the latter position in the compound because it follows the term asi, which denotes a weapon. And then finally we use eco-energy 6177 to get a final form asyudyata. And we know that the gender of a bahuvrihi compound matches that of which it qualifies. Present example nara is being qualified, hence we assign the masculine gender to the compound pradivadikam asyudyata. Declines like Rama Shabdaha. Prathama ekvachanam is asyudyataha. Note here asks the question, Katham udyata gadaha udyata asihi. How do we justify these forms now? Because here udyata is being placed in the prior position, even though gada and asi, meaning a mace and a sword, denote weapons. So in spite of this vartikam, the term udyata is seen in the prior position in the compound, in a bahuvrihi compound. So how is that? One way is to consider these compounds to be part of the Ahitanyadi Ganaha. Recall that when we studied that sutram 2237 Vahitanyadishu, we noted that the Ahitanyadi Ganaha is a Akriti Ganaha, which is a class or group of words in which some words are actually mentioned and room is left to include others which are found undergoing the same operations. Hence, when we see an accepted usage in which a term which should have been placed in the prior position, either by the sutram 2235 saptami visheshane bahuvrihau or 2236 nishtha, is actually found to be in the latter position in a bahuvrihi compound, we can justify the usage by considering the compound to be included in the ahitanyadi ganaha. So in the compounds udyata gadaha and udyata asihi, as per the present vartikam, udyata should have taken the latter position, but it has not. One way to justify these compounds is to consider them to be part of the Ahitanyadi Ganaha, which is the Akriti Ganaha. Okay, let us now take an example where a term which denotes a weapon is used with a Saptamyantam Padam in a Bahuvrihi compound. Example is Dandaha Parnau Yasya Saha equals Dandapani Naraha, meaning he, the man, in whose hand there is a staff or a stick or a club. The Alaukika Vigraha is Danda Su Prathama Ekvachanam plus Pani Ni Saptam Ekvachanam. Now, which sutram may we use to justify this compound? We cannot use 2224 Anekamanya Padarthe because that sutram requires that every padam entering into the compound should end in a nominative case. Here we have Pani Ni, which is ending in the seventh case. So we cannot use 2224. But recall that we have seen the Jnapakam, the indication given by Panini in the Sutram 2-35. Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau. When we studied that sutram, we asked the question, which sutram justifies the formation of a Bahuvrihi compound using a padam ending in a seventh case affix? We cannot use 2224 Anekam Anya Padarthe because that sutram only prescribes compounding of terms having the designation padam and ending in the nominative case. Hence, Ata eva Jnapakad Vyadhikarana Pado Bahuvrihi. The Sutram 2235 itself serves as an indication in Jnapakam that a Bahuvrihi compound may be formed using terms that do not have Samanadhikaranam, same locus, and hence do not all end in the nominative case. Otherwise, there would be no point in mentioning Saptami in the Sutram 2-35. Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau. So we use that Jnapakam here to justify this compounding between Danda, Su and Pani Ni. And now as per the Vartikam, Prahanarthebhyaha Pare Nishtha Saptamyau, the term Pani Ni, which ends in a seventh case affix, is placed in the latter position in the compound because it follows the term Danda Su, which denotes a weapon. Now, Danda Su plus Pani Ni gets the designation Pradipadikam by 1-46, Krittadita Samasascha, because we have formed a compound. This allows us to apply 2471. Supodhatu Pradipadikayoho to perform the look elision on the sup affixes Su and Ni, which are inside the compound Pradipadikam. So that's how we get the final compound Pradipadikam Dandapani. And we know that the gender of a Bahuvrihi compound matches that of which it qualifies. In this case, Nara is being qualified, hence we assign the masculine gender to the compound Pratipadikam Dandapani. Declines like Harishabdaha. Prathama Ekvachanam is Dandapani.